The insane true story of Vincent Mangano. Have you heard an unbelievable story? The life of Vincent Mangano, a Hollywood thriller, will captivate you. How did Mangano ascend from nothing to power? He had what mysteries in the dark underworld? How did this seemingly regular man run a crime and intrigue empire? Prepare to explore Vincent Mangano's insane true story's twists and turns. So buckle up. As the chief of the Gambino crime syndicate, Vincent Mangano, or Don Vincenzo, was feared. Mangano ruled with influence and intimidation, using his strategic skills and controlled demeanor. His keen mind and cunning instincts helped him traverse organized crime's complex network, solidifying his place in the underworld. Vincent was raised in Palermo, Sicily in 1888, surrounded by Italian culture. Growing up in a close-knit community, the sights and sounds of the bustling metropolis shaped his character. Vincent learned hard labor and perseverance from a modest household. Vincent left home in 1906 to find fresh opportunities in the U.S. As he abandoned everything he knew for a better future, he crossed the Atlantic with optimism and fear. Vincent struggled to adapt to a new culture and language in the U.S. His determination and resilience guided him through a new life. This started a transformation that will influence Vincent's identity and future goals. Don Vincenzo ruled with smart commercial enterprises and harsh power. A network of devoted associates and an elaborate structure helped the Gambino family consolidate power under his leadership. While his operations were often hidden, his name rippled through law enforcement and whispered whispers. Mangano's legacy, despite his crimes, shows his skill at manipulating circumstances and his control over a criminal empire. His account shows the complexity of organized crime and the mysterious figures who shaped it. Vincent became the boss of the notorious American Cosa Nostra in 1931. This was a turning point in organized crime history, as the Cosa Nostra united its factions under a single leadership, stifling illegal activity nationwide. Vincent, a smart and cunning person, ascended fast through the ranks, using his strategy to negotiate the dangerous underworld. Under his direction, the Cosa Nostra developed its racketeering, smuggling, and extortion operations, compromising politicians and legitimate enterprises. Vincent's harshness and crafty diplomacy allowed the Cosa Nostra to rule for years without being caught. The Vincentian era, which symbolized criminal power and fascinated the people, left an enduring effect on American history. The program explores the complicated characters and lasting impact of prominent mafia members. It exposes the inner workings of organized crime through thorough investigation and fascinating storytelling. Each episode methodically explores these enigmatic figures' ascent to power, strategic tactics, and influence webs. The podcast emphasizes the complex relationship between the underworld and the real world by examining their acts' far-reaching effects. How these personalities navigated society left an enduring influence on politics, business, and culture. The podcast depicts the criminal landscape's rivalries, alliances, and betrayals through expert interviews and archive sources. It forces listeners to consider how these mafia icons have shaped modern society. He went from fish store clerk to real estate agent in a varied career. However, his commitment to the Brooklyn waterfront remained constant throughout his varied voyage. This seemingly unimportant strip of land was a mafia stronghold. He used his diverse expertise to comprehend this underworld empire's complex dynamics. He discovered the mysterious tapestry of clandestine trades and whispered alliances along the water's edge through persistence. His discoveries shaped the mafia's dominance in the region as he dug deeper. His presence cast a long shadow in Brooklyn's criminal underbelly's labyrinthine alleys and clandestine gatherings, demonstrating his wordless authority. Brother Filippo Mangano's journey is linked to his involvement in organized crime. Filippo was dragged into his siblings' enticing but dangerous world as their unlawful activities grew. The brothers' closeness became a collaboration powered by ambition and understanding. They navigated their criminal domain's intricate power tunnels, united by blood and purpose. The brothers' relationship was more than just convenient. It showed the strength of the family. They supported and advised one another through their chosen path's challenges. Filippo, formerly distant from the criminal underbelly, now stood with his family, proving the power of family in adversity. Nicola Taranto and Ignazio Lupo are key figures in the crime family's history. Their lasting marks have left a legacy. Nicola Taranto, a smart strategist who took calculated risks, led the family's rise to the criminal underground. The charming and ruthless Ignazio Lupo strengthened the family's authority by organizing daring heists and demanding allegiance. These luminaries are just a few threads in the story. Countless lesser-known but significant contributors helped the family evolve. Their exploits, alliances, and disputes have defined the criminal empire's rise and alterations, creating a mysterious tale of power and intrigue. As the family story develops, Taranto and Lupo's enigmatic identities and audacious undertakings continue to haunt the criminal annals, leaving an unforgettable legacy. Vincent rose to prominence in the underground around 1921 when he made criminal connections. His relationship with organized crime figure Joe Profassi shaped his career. This connection gave Vincent access to prominent people and insider knowledge of the clandestine world. Vincent's influence and reputation have grown over time. His economic savvy and smart thinking secured him a spot in the criminal hierarchy. The duo's illegal endeavors and Vincent's skill to navigate dangerous waters made him a prominent criminal underworld player. Vincent's strategic relationships and risks showed his intent to grow in power. His connections with Joe Profassi opened doors and established a legacy that would forever change organized crime. The age of power and controversy that was typified by Vincent Mangano's strong grasp over the Brooklyn waterfront and its longshoremen began during this time. Mangano was a powerful person in the middle of the 20th century, and he was responsible for orchestrating a network that was rigorously structured and supervised the bustling ports and the labor force that fueled its operations. It is impossible to deny Mangano's sway over the longshoremen, who labored non-stop loading and unloading cargo ships as they were under his control. He was very skilled in the use of his authority, and he was able to forge coalitions inside the various labor unions, as well as frequently navigate the muddy waters of organized crime. He was able to manipulate labor conditions, negotiate contracts, and shape the economic dynamics of the region because of the control he had over the situation. However, during Mangano's tenure, there were many obstacles to overcome. Conflicts with law enforcement and rivalries among members of the criminal underworld depicted a darker side of his leadership. Vincent Mangano remained a prominent role in the lore of Brooklyn's waterfront, leaving an indelible stamp on its history. This was despite the fact that he was involved in scandals and took risks. Many people believe that Vincent Mangano, a well-known person in the world of organized crime, came up with the term La Cosa Nostra, which translates to our thing in English. Mangano was a member of the Cosa Nostra family. This word epitomized the clandestine and closely knit world of the Italian-American mafia, drawing attention to their distinctive way of life, norms of conduct, and dedication to the organization. Not only did Mangano's choice of words serve as a linguistic icon of the mafia's character, but it also highlighted the insular nature of the actions that were carried out by the organization. The phrase La Cosa Nostra evolved to be synonymous with the mafia and came to represent a secret society that was joined together by unbreakable allegiance and blood ties. The language innovation that Mangano introduced would go on to affect public conceptions of organized crime and would become an enduring symbol of the hidden underworld that thrived in the shadows of American society. During the middle of the 20th century, Vincent Mangano was a significant figure in the criminal underground of New York City. During this time, he became embroiled in a contentious conflict with his erstwhile comrade, Albert Anastasia. Their cooperation finally came to an end as a result of power disputes and competing goals in the criminal underworld. In the past, the two had worked together as strong figures in organized crime. By 1951, the tensions that existed between Mangano and Anastasia had reached a boiling point, as evidenced by a series of confrontations that took place over the control of various illegal businesses. The mystery surrounding Mangano's disappearance in the same year added another layer of tension to an already tense situation. Some people thought that he might have been a victim of his own cruel world, while others pondered whether or not his disappearance was a deliberate withdrawal to avoid the intensifying feud. Some people thought that he might have been a victim of his own terrible world. In the annals of organized crime history, the events that surrounded Vincent Mangano's disagreements with Anastasia and his eventual disappearance remain shrouded in darkness, leaving behind a legacy of intrigue and uncertainty. Official confirmation of Mangano's death is elusive amid political intrigue and speculation. Clandestine reasons and political power struggles have cast a shadow over his purported killing. In this uncertainty, hypotheses abound, with some saying his unexpected disappearance was a deliberate attempt to stage a comeback, while others suggest opposing forces were eliminated. Mangano's unclear fate has sparked a power struggle among different factions to seize his former realm. As investigations continue and the truth eludes them, Mangano's destiny continues to fascinate, fueling political speculation. Thanks for watching. For more, subscribe to our channel.